Hi, I'm Robert Begley, day 392 of my video challenge. On our way out of here, leaving Denver shortly, but preparing for this week's hero show, The Beatles. This is the latest book I'm reading in preparation, Dreaming the Beatles. It's a pretty good book. It goes through chapter by chapter analysis of their albums with some backstory and then what happened after they broke up. So, what's heroic about the Beatles? A few things that I'll just focus on, three of them. Number one, they were innovators. They changed the face of music, becoming songwriters, making money. There were individuals who had done that. Bob Dylan preceded them, and but they were mostly like individuals. They weren't actual bands, what we call rock bands, who did that with regularity. Once the Beatles did that, even the Rolling Stones, who followed them very right in their footsteps, continued that, and then other bands did it. And if we think back in history of music, people like Mozart and Beethoven and Tchaikovsky, they wrote their own music, but it didn't get that mass appeal the way the Beatles did, generate incredible amounts of wealth. And that they were fortunate. Beatles were fortunate to live in a semi-capitalist culture where there was enough wealth around for people to buy their records. Secondly, is their view on racism. They were inspired by a lot of the black bluesmen of America. And when they toured in the United States, some places in the South, in the American South, were segregated, and they would not allow blacks to attend Beatles concerts, and they wrote it in their contract. If there was segregation, the Beatles would not play at this place. And I think that's incredibly admirable. So they saw a problem and they addressed it. They used their power. Their economic power to address that issue. Third thing, the innovation within music, the way they're recording. In 1966, they had stopped touring because they couldn't hear themselves perform with all the girls screaming, and they focused on studio recordings. And they introduced so many innovative techniques that other bands would follow, feedback, reverb, playing songs backwards. It was certainly an experimental era, but the Beatles were on the forefront. So if we look at Sgt. Pepper's, I mean, you think of Rubber Soul, Revolver, Sgt. Pepper's, White Album I can't consider as revolutionary, but and then they went out with a bang. Abbey Road, Let It Be are just incredibly phenomenal albums. So that's a little bit about the Beatles. I still like the Stones more, still like Led Zeppelin more, still like Rush more, but the Beatles do deserve to be celebrated on the Hero Show. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow, day 393 of the video challenge.